Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Buff Breakdown. So with the Lost Belt 6 Recollections, we got a Sith buff on Friday I believe last week, and now, today on this Tuesday, we are getting a Da Vinci Rider buff. Also for the first time ever. They have been buffing Caster a lot over the years, but the Rider has never seen any buffs. So today we got one. Now it's not a huge difference. You can already see only one line is affected, and it is a skill buff. But let's see what we are working with here. So previously her skill 1 gave her debuff immune for 3 turns. Also it's on a 6-turn cooldown, the skill. She also got 1000 healing every turn for 3 turns. And 20% MP gauge every turn for 3 turns. Actually, still to this day, not really a bad skill, I want to say. It's good. One of the reasons why she also loops so easily, because she gets so much MP per turn from this too. It's a pretty decent skill as is, honestly. But yeah, let's see what they changed. So everything that I just listed, everything stays the same. Yeah, no changes whatsoever to anything that was pre-existing, okay? But we have one new line. Now, she gives every teammate on the field 10 stars per turn for 3 turns, including herself, of course. So what this means is that she now gets 30 stars per turn for 3 turns, assuming there's 3 allies, alive when you use this. Think of it like Jinako's first skill, for instance. It applies the stars per turn to every single ally. So everyone is producing these stars. So obviously if someone dies, then you get less stars per turn. That's how that works. And that's it. That's the only change they did. Now, I don't honestly really know how I feel about this buff. This does give her more support application because she already does stuff like MP damage for the party for 3 turns, some overcharge, even her MP itself has a team-wide battery. So it's not like this is the first support skill she has now, but the thing is, I feel like people mostly bring Da Vinci Rider when she's like the main DPS, either for loop farming or for bosses. So trying to put her more of in a support role, I'm not sure. This can help with some multi-core farming too if you need face cards, but obviously if you don't, it doesn't really do much for farming. So it really is mostly just a buff for boss potential. It is nice being able to crit a lot more, because 30 stars is a crazy amount, and you get that for 3 turns, and this is on a 6-turn cooldown, so it is up basically half the time. Now, even if she herself doesn't have the biggest crit damage potential, being arts, and obviously her crit damage on the second skill only being 50% for 1 turn on a 4-turn cooldown, which is not a whole lot, she's still a rider. So her natural absorb is high, so she will get a lot of easy crits from this, especially if you bring the usual, caster supports with her. She will be more inclined to get those stars than her supports. And even on bosses, even if they happen to land on your casters, let's say Castoria gets more crits, that means she gets more MPs. Maybe not so much more for damage, but yeah, the MP gain is obviously always welcome, because her MP obviously is the best in the game, so it's good, but I don't know if this is like a weird buff to me. I don't really know what they were going for here. Again, if you do have ideas for this buff, do let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm missing something obvious, but I feel like this won't really change too much, especially for farming, like I was saying. I feel like an MP buff would have been the real huge boost, because like I was saying earlier, her MP is very easy to spam. In fact, it is one of the most spammable arts MPs in the game if we take the full kit into account for a servant. The problem is, it just they never did like insane damage. So I feel like an MP buff, even if they didn't really add too many effects on it, just the damage buff alone would have been quite huge for her, I feel like. And this skill actually, like, I think it was good. They could have buffed like the second skill instead, or maybe even the third one. I feel like skill 1 was arguably the best already. Am I going crazy here? So the placement of the skill is kind of weird, and then the buff itself, I don't know what to really make of it. I guess one thing, since it is on the first skill, there is some esports potential now. Like, you can literally run a level 1 Da Vinci Rider and still get 30 stars per turn, and then sack her or something. So I guess for that, now that I think about it, there is a bit of esports potential. But I'm just kind of struggling to understand what the philosophy behind this buff was. It's still good, it helps. Buff is a buff, but Not sure if it was the one I wanted to see. So on the writer tier list this year, we had her on a flat A. Slowly coming down over the ranks over the years. I feel like we had her on EX when she was brand new, especially when Castaway was just released. But I don't know, I feel like the main issue is just the damage. This will maybe give her more support application or esports, but is it enough to bump her up a tier or even half a tier? I'm not sure. I feel like I'm just gonna let her be an A for now. We're probably going to talk a lot about this, you know, during the writer tier lists again. But yeah, it's a buff and it's good, but I feel like it's maybe a little bit misplaced. Could be just me. Do let me know in the comments if this take is trash. So there you go, more LB6 buffs. A lot of people were expecting Barghest, that I'm not sure if her rate up has happened yet. If not, then maybe there is still hope to see a Barghest buff. I didn't really look at the summoning schedule yet. Apologies for that, but there could still be more buffs in the near future. So on that note, hey, if you enjoyed this video, likey on it, very good, helps out. And of course, do subscribe not to miss out on future videos, because again, whenever there's new buffs, I'll be right here covering them immediately for you guys. Also, big shout out to my patrons on the screen right now, and Suit for being a big YouTube member tier, of course. And with that, I hope you guys have a great week ahead, and I talk to you again in the next video. Bye-bye.